I told him I just got back from the gym. He said, what'd you hit? I said, glutes. He said, okay, little booty. What I mean?
When's the last time you had?
Last night.
Was it with a boyfriend or just?
Yeah, it was with a boyfriend.
It was with your boyfriend?
It was with my boyfriend. He's so not my type, I would say.
Your boyfriend's not your type?
He's tall and blonde. We are a great couple, I agree, but he's tall and blonde, that's not my type.
Smash or pass me?
On you?
Yeah.
Smash.
Smash?
Yeah.
Let me get your number.
I'm gonna get roasted for this, but I need you guys to hear me out. Like, it may be easy to judge this girl, but I actually know her. In fact, she's in my house right now, and she's not as bad as you guys think she is. She's actually pretty chill. I mean, she just sits there quietly all day. She even has a little friend.
Women are becoming the men in dating now. Because of all of the post-Me Too, women have to now learn how to approach men in real life.
The closer you get to 30, the more you realize you don't know in your 20s. And by the time you get 35, that's when reality will hit you and you have to take stock at where you are. And if you're losing or behind, that's your problem. At 40 is when life really starts for a man. And if you've been doing the right things, the better things, putting in the work, life becomes far much more pleasurable at 40. But then, just like you see a lot of women who have the 1,000 C's stare in their eyes, you see a lot of guys at 40 who have the loser stare in their eyes because they got light resumes, few skills, and they've misused their youth, chasing stupid. And now they don't have as much time and they can't make the money and they got to hold on to that job. They got to hold on to the job they have because if they lose that job, they know if they're going to the open market is going to sell them. See, that's the real truth. Value is determined by a market. The market determines what value is. Where are you on the market?
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
She didn't. She's joking. She is joking. Girl, you're kidding. You're so funny.
All right. Can we talk about one of the hardest things in marriage? It's not the chores. It's not the bills, and it's not agreeing on what movie to watch on Netflix. It's apologizing when you are still hurting. It's choosing to still show love when you aren't feeling all that loved yourself. And listen, I know everything in you wants to shut down, pull away, wait for them to make the first move. But the truth, that's the moment when love matters most. Marriage isn't about waiting until it's easy. It's about leaning in when it's hard. When you are in a tough season or fresh off of an argument, that's when an I'm sorry or a simple act of love can break the cycle. Not because you are perfect, not because they are perfect, but because you both choose to show up, even when it's messy. So yes, marriage takes work, but dang, the rewards, that kind of love hits different.
Now, I love voices. A man's voice does it for me. In fact, that's the same for most women because women are very sensory. So I can close my eyes, I could be in hospital, and if a doctor approaches me and says, hi Zara, what's wrong? I have this picture in my head. And then the actual image ruins it afterwards. Like when I had my teeth done at the dentist, there was this man with the most amazing accent. But then when I actually opened my eyes and saw him, it kind of like, it didn't match up. But what I'm saying here is that the accent is so important. So if you send loads and loads of voice notes to the person you're dating, creme de la creme.
I don't care how good the information is, I will scroll every time I see a cis white man trying to give me information. And I love that for me.
Now, this might be my age talking a little bit, but I can very distinctly remember a time when it was considered a bad thing to be prejudiced against a group of people, especially for characteristics that they have no control over. But social media and the internet have really changed a lot of things, haven't they? I mean, think about it. As long as that demographic of people fits into certain categories, checks all the right boxes, as it were, then it's perfectly acceptable to put your bigotry on full display. And people will not only praise you for it, they will actually applaud you for your forward thinking, because in their minds you can't discriminate against a certain group of people, so it's perfectly acceptable to be as prejudiced as a person wants to be. Not only that, but actually be proud of the fact that they're ignoring any information that comes from someone purely based on their skin color and the gender in which they happen to have. What a time to be alive.
Okay, men seem to think that women don't approach first, but we just don't approach verbally first. Okay? Stay with me. When women, approach you, we're not, actually going up to you. We're just gonna stare at you. That's all we're gonna do. We're literally we're just gonna... That's it. And if you look at her when she's doing that, and she doesn't immediately, look away, if she, holds it for just a second, you can go up to her. Unless she's looking at you why the f*** are you looking at me? But she will make that clear. It will be clear. Read her body language. You're welcome.
The marriage that you and your spouse both want in 10 years starts with how you treat each other today. Not on the wedding, not on anniversaries, not on vacations or date nights. Today, in the normal, boring, everyday moments. It's built in how you both talk to each other when you are stressed. It's built in how you treat each other when you are tired. It's built in whether you say thank you or I love you, whether you reach for their hand, whether you choose to be kind even when you are annoyed. People think marriages fall apart because of one big thing. But most marriages don't fall apart all at once. They fall apart slowly when two people start to feel alone in the same house. Strong marriages are not built in big moments. They are built in the way you speak to each other on normal days. In the way you always show up, no matter what. In the way you keep choosing each other over and over again. So if you want a strong marriage later, be a good spouse today.
I think a lot of these modern women are genuinely caught off guard by the fact that men don't really beg anymore. That whole, I'm threatening to leave and I'm going to give you an ultimatum type stuff does not really work anymore. A lot of these brothers will help you pack. They'll help you pack. Oh, you got an ultimatum. It's either this or that. Well, you go ahead and pick that other option. Because, that's what you want. That's what you've been thinking about. So go ahead and pick that. Right? They want men to yearn and to beg. Oh, I can't live my life without you. I can't. You need to go be happy wherever you are. Because it's not here. You're wasting my time. And you're about to cause chaos and drama in my house. And I want to be clear that I don't want that at all. I never have wanted that, and I never will.
I do thinking about other women that ain't me. So I've been repeating applications. Till I got my hands on them. Then I want to follow. Got me waiting, anticipating. Praying to the Lord, forgive me through my lonely home. Satisfy my frustrations. Need me. How my heart yearns for you. Really far. Is he yours? This man is testing me. Help me, Lord. I need you to tell me, baby. What the hell is wrong? What's taking so long?
Let me ask you something. Do men ever not pursue a woman because they are intimidated by her? Do men ever not pursue a woman because they're just too scared of how much they're going to fall in love with her? We have been fed this tale that If a man is not pursuing you and a man is not making plans with you, that's probably because he's intimidated by you. He's intimidated by your success. He's intimidated by your beauty. He's intimidated by how fancy of a lifestyle you have. And I'm just curious, is any of that true? Is any of that?
It's not that he's intimidated. It's that he knows that by getting into a relationship with that kind of woman, he's going to be signing up for a full-time job trying to maintain and upkeep a relationship without her even reciprocating. It's quite literally the ability of a man to look at a situation logically, to then determine if it's even worthwhile trying to pursue a woman that potentially could just tear his life apart and he will never have peace. What a man is actually intimidated by is being sent to HR because he's about to get fired. He's intimidated by the police being called on him for being falsely accused over something that he's never done. And he's intimidated by running into a bear in the woods.
You want to be robbed because there's no other explanation as to why you just met me on the internet and you want me to come to your house night one. Talking about, oh, let's go to my house, we can drink some wine, we can play some games, we can kick it, we can chill. You don't know me. And I don't know you, Mr. But what I do know is the next invite me to his house and I don't know him, I'm just gonna go ahead and rob him. Because clearly he wants to be robbed. Because why else would you invite a stranger to your house that you don't know? Why else would you give a stranger that you just met your address unless you wanted to be robbed? Clearly you want to be robbed, Mr. Man. So I'm gonna rob you. I'm taking everything that ain't bolted the fuck down, okay? And if it's bolted down, that's okay. I got a drill. I'm gonna unbolt that bitch and take it with me because there's no other explanation other than you are a lick. You want to be robbed and I'm gonna rob you, okay? Me and my homeboys gonna rob you. I'm taking everything.
I just got told to put on a shirt at Planet Fitness over my sports bra. And the reason, and it was a female manager as well. And the reason she gave me was that they would like to keep their respect and that there's a lot of guys in the gym.
More and more gyms should be doing this. You're not at your house. Why are you in the gym in a sports bra? You're there to work out, yeah? Yeah. Why are you there half naked? And then you're offended because she says you have to cover up because there's other people at the gym. Yes, there's guys there and you're making them uncomfortable, so put some clothes on. You wouldn't fail to record them or report them if they were staring you down simply because you were half naked. So if the female manager, and you said female manager as if she shouldn't tell you to cover up because she's a female. If the female manager tells you to put some clothes on because there's other people there, put some clothes on. Or how about don't go to the gym half naked?
If you don't want to date single mothers, that's your preference, that's okay. But stop trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with single mothers when you simply just don't want to take care of somebody else's children. That just means you yourself don't have the resources, the kindness, or the selflessness to be able to adopt somebody else's child.
That means that you don't have the resources, the kindness,
or the selflessness
to take on someone else's child. What incentive are you offering him in the comparison of the woman that's in the same running and same category who doesn't have a child?
Black Macho did a great job of going over his reasons, but left out one very valuable and important reason, which was the most important reason. This man could never be number one to this single mother because the mother has to have the child first. And him having an understanding of that, I thought was deep. And Black Macho, she kind of glossed over that and didn't want to address that point because that's really what disqualifies single mothers.
The type of man that you actually want is not just looking for beauty or chemistry. He is paying attention to how you handle yourself. Because in the same way that you want him to open up, he's watching to see if you can own your own reactions. In the same way you want emotional depth from him, he's craving peace from you. Not perfection, just a woman that is aware, who can pause, who doesn't let every single emotion turn into something he has to carry. You want a man that can lead, right? Well, then he needs to feel that he can lead without being challenged every single time he tries to step up. You want him to hold space for you, but he's hoping you won't turn your emotions into something he has to fix or absorb. Now, don't get me wrong, a good man is not scared of your feelings. He just gets worn down when everything turns into tension and nothing turns into growth. This is not about men versus women. It's about two people showing up with intention, taking responsibility, and actually playing their role well. And a lot of women don't have a man problem. They have a pattern. They haven't taken ownership yet.
I think in a lot of these situations and scenarios, when you listen to modern women and how upset they are that men don't try anymore, and they ask the question, why do men stop trying? You know, why did he stop planning dates? Why did he stop being romantic? Or doing all the stuff that he used to do? It doesn't seem like it ever crosses their mind, like maybe you weren't reciprocating, maybe you weren't that great of a partner, maybe you weren't appreciating him. There was a woman that talked about a lot of times modern women say things like, oh, that's the bare minimum, and they never appreciate or say thank you. But she said, I implement that in my life because, you know, even in the small things, people need to feel appreciated. And it keeps them going because it lets them know that you acknowledge, you see, and you comprehend how much it takes for them to continue doing on a daily basis what it is that they do for you. So be appreciative and grateful, something a lot of modern women don't have.
A lot of women came at me in that video and said, like, they have the right to choose who they are attracted to. And I'm like, yo, for real, you are absolutely correct. But the problem is a lot of women have unrealistic expectations, right? You want a 6'4" man who's not bald, he has great head of hair, but it gotta be salt and pepper, so he gotta be in his like mid-30s. He can't have no kids, he gotta have $500,000 in his bank account, and he gotta be making 7 figures a year. He already gotta have a house, he gotta have a nice car, and he has to pay for your entire existence, right? And he better love his family, and he better be in the greatest shape of his life. Meanwhile, you ain't got nothing going on for you. And it's delusion. It's delusion. Some of y'all don't be looking at who the hell is gonna help me through the of my parents, right? Some of y'all don't be looking at, if I were to get sick, is this man gonna be by my side? A lot of y'all have such unrealistic expectations, and that's why all these older women are just single and bitter, and they're like, oh man, when that's not the reality. It's not. It's really not. It's just that you want the perfect man when you're not perfect.
Have the men given up? I'm serious.
No, but a great many of them have actually lost interest.
They just like stopped. They don't want to have sex anymore. They don't want to go on dates with women. They just want to hang out with their boys. Like, look, I get it.
If someone gets it, then why are they even asking the question? Seems odd.
Men want to hang out with men. They want to do their thing. They don't want to care about women drama anymore.
Well, it seems they understand. Most men are tired of women's drama and they're happier hanging out with other guys. So what's the point of this video?
Maybe someone can explain to me what's going on, because as long as men are not approaching women, they are going to be single.
Wow. It's almost like that's the entire point. They keep answering their own questions. Does anyone else notice that?
And women are having a great time. From what I've seen, single women are having a great time. Yes, maybe they want boyfriends, they want to hook up, but single women are having a great time. The single men, I don't know, not so much. What do you think?
I think that someone has actually answered all of the questions already in this video, with the exception of the fact that someone doesn't seem to understand that men that are single are just as happy, if not happier, than a lot of single women out there. Because you don't really see a lot of men asking where all the good women are at. They're just happier being single.
In the past week, I have seen people say that it's not okay to approach a woman who happens to be working, like maybe she's at a coffee shop. I've seen people say that it's not okay to approach a woman when she's working out or at all at the gym. I have seen people say that you can't approach or ask out a woman who's your coworker. It's like, no, keep going. Do you like dating apps? Do you like having to swipe? Do you like having to just try and figure out who he is in the photo? Do you like not being able to tell anything about the guy, sometimes even if he's lying about his height or something like that? Because this is how you create a world where the only way to meet a potential romantic partner is through a dating app. Like, I have literally even seen women make TikToks about like, don't approach me when I'm out with my friends. We're just there to have fun. Girl, you're at a bar. If you're cute and you don't have an RBF, it's likely you'll get approached. Like, I get it. You want the guy to be respectful. You want the guy to take no for an answer, all that, etc. But if you keep it up and you keep shaming men who approach you basically anywhere, you're not going to make it so that no men approach you. You're just going to make it so that the only ones who do are the creeps who didn't care about you being uncomfortable in the first place. And you know, it's really strange and really inconsistent because a lot of the women who are complaining about this stuff also turn around and then complain that they don't like being on dating apps, or complain that they don't get approached, or complain that men never ask out women these days. And all of those are totally fair complaints, but you don't get to have it both ways. If you're the one doing the shaming, the call is coming from inside the house.
So currently at the moment, I am dating 3 different men. And when I say all of these men bring value into my life in different ways, I really urge other women to experiment and date different men at the same time.
No. I'll pass. Until a man gets on his knees and propose, date them all. Because according to her, each man is going to bring out a different side of you. Let's talk about the dudes, okay? Dude number 1 is a provider guy. That guy, if she asks him to jump, he's going to ask how high. By the way, before I forget, she has kids. And provider dude is the one who takes care of them. Anything they want, and she says that, he gets it done. And we don't even have to guess. We already know that those kids, they don't belong to any of the guys that she's dating. Dude number 2. That one is the pleaser in bed. Okay? According to her, she can't let that one go. She'll never let that one go. In fact, she's taking him and keeping him in her pocket. And finally, dude number 3. This one is on the older side. This one takes her out to nice places, and he just mostly wants companionship. Oh, by the way, she's willing to add more dudes to the 3 that's already there. If this does not scream no self-respect and no self-love, I don't know what does.
You know, and one thing you have to learn is that good men actually do exist. They just learned to be selective, right? They learned to be more stingy and selfish with their time. I'm not pursuing every woman that comes across my vision, my purview, or in my field of vision and my purview. I'm not doing that. Modern women don't really realize when they ask this question, where are the good men, how irresponsible, how utterly irresponsible they have been. Not just in dating, but in society, period. You've been irresponsible. Men see that. They're tracking, they're watching your movements to see what you've been up to. And it hasn't been very good activities. Why would a man, a good man at that, a stable, a disciplined man, want a woman that is not, she don't got her stuff together mentally, nor physically? She's empty. I think I'll pass.
When I was 21, I was in a relationship with a doctor, and he taught me some very important things about relationships with men with money. And I want to share that with you because I wish somebody would have told me when I was 21. Date for character, don't date for money. And I say that because just because a man has money does not mean that he's not toxic, doesn't mean that he's going to be a good husband while you're pregnant, doesn't mean he's going to be a good father, doesn't mean that he won't cuss you out, it doesn't mean that he's going to be faithful, doesn't mean that he's going to be honest, and it just doesn't mean that he's going to treat you right just because he has money. And I just see so many girls online who have it all wrong. On the top of their list is, oh, he's a provider, or he must be rich. And things like that. It's just like, date a man who is compassionate, who is kind, who is loving, who is generous, has all these other traits that are super important to having a healthy relationship. And I'm just glad I had that experience while I was young, because now when I'm talking to men with money, their money doesn't impress me whatsoever. The dinners don't impress me. Where they've traveled to doesn't impress me. Their car doesn't impress me, because I know it doesn't really mean anything as far as how you're going to show up for me as a partner. And I just wish more women could understand that so they don't have to learn the lesson the hard way.
In a public without a fresh manicure. And guess where I ended up next? Publix, because where shopping is a pleasure, but here's the thing. Can you really enjoy shopping if your hair isn't on point? This is the 2 packs of crayons that I got from my daughter. That's all I was able to afford after doing my hair and my nails. So that's what she's taking.
These are the types of women that will divorce you, put you on child support, and when it's only $50 a month, get pissed because they no longer can afford their lifestyle. These are the types of women that resent their children and shouldn't be parents in the first place. And even if this is satire and a joke, the reality is that there are so many women that think exactly like this. It's basically she never has to pay her portion and she's waiting on his child support payment to make it cover everything. And when it doesn't, now he's a deadbeat and doesn't pay enough. And let's just assume she's still married. She's still putting herself in financial ruin and her family in financial ruin and being selfish by prioritizing herself first. Oh, but you'll say, oh, the child is well taken care of. They have a roof over their head. Absolutely. But those are things that a woman should have with or without a child involved. The fact that so many women are comfortable putting themselves above their children like this video and making jokes about it as if it's some kind of flex, it's not. And what really gets me is that you really think that making videos like basically putting your child last, even as a joke for clout and views, is acceptable, because guess what? Your kids eventually grow up and see videos like this and eventually they start to believe it. Okay, bye.
A lot of men will assume just because you're beautiful that you have a lot of men waiting in line to talk to you. And yes, that might be the case, but that doesn't mean that she's entertaining them all. Right. Because they're already under this belief that you already have 5 other dudes that you're talking to, they feel like they don't gotta be the ones to apply pressure or stand out. But what you need to do is let them think that and let them miss out. Because if you're not going to apply pressure or stand out or make me feel special, then yeah, even if I'm not talking to another guy, I'm gonna let another guy take your place, because why am I gonna entertain you when you're doing nothing for me? You think you're just gonna sit around here, be cool, be cute, be nonchalant? Ew. I don't want a nonchalant man. I don't want a man that could go a day without talking to me. I don't want a man that just assumes that I'm already being taken care of, everything's paid for. You don't want to add to my life. If you don't want to add to my life, you can get the fuck out. I hear a lot of men be like, oh, I'm sure you already got this treatment. Oh, I'm sure like you already got a dude for that. I'll just be this. No, how about you be nothing? You'll be nothing with that mindset. To me, at least. And if you're a man that's like, oh, I don't chase women, good luck with the results. Because the type of women you're going to attract by not chasing as a man, you're going to be met with very masculine energy. You claim to want a soft woman. You claim to want a nurturing, beautiful, all these type of things. But that type of woman doesn't accept anything less than a man adding to her life and him showing by action, not by words. So how are you going to stand out when you're actually doing less than everyone else? You think you're just going to land your dream girl acting the way you do? That is hilarious. Hilarious weird. No, haha, you don't see me laughing? You don't see me laughing. Being single, a lot of people are dealing with somebody or flirting with multiple people. And as a man, you gotta stand out. You can't just think, oh, someone else got it covered. If you do think like that, move. Move.
Stop allowing people into your personal life that don't meet up to your minimum expectation. Now, maybe you work for somebody else and you cannot control who you interact with at work, but in your personal life, oh yes, you can. You most definitely can decide to not have anybody in your life that does not treat you with respect, cooperation, and that feminine, beautiful, inspirational kind of thing. You can make those decisions. And the thing is, when you carry yourself a certain way, when you treat yourself in a certain way, you will actually give yourself permission to demand the best from others. That's the key. You got to carry yourself that way. Give yourself permission to demand that people treat you with respect, address you with respect. Let nothing slide. When someone wants to insult you, when someone wants to do a sneak diss or something like, call it out, call it right on the mat. Nope. Have a standard that you have for yourself. And here's the thing. The people that you'll tick off or something like that, the ones that'll say you're uppity, you're full of yourself, you're arrogant, you're ambitious, you didn't need them around you anyway. You need them out of your world. So they did you a favor by getting away from you. By raising your standard, you're going to actually lose a lot of weight. But here's another thing. You'll actually start attracting people like you. Like attracts like. You want to be treated better by your colleagues, by women? Raise your standard. Treat yourself well and demand the same thing. But here's the other side. You also have to treat others with mirrored respect. But the golden rule still applies. You still need to treat other people the same way.
I was falsely accused of sexual assault, thrown in prison, bailed out on $250,000 bail with no criminal record. I hired a private detective. We learned that this person had done it many times in other states. They drugged me in the bar on camera, multiple eyewitnesses.
Did the person in question go prison after?
They had zero interest in prosecuting a girl who made the story up, never showed up to court again. I had to fight for 11 months, and then when I was able to prove it with video evidence, they just dismissed me.
There are so many girls that do go through that, and to falsely accuse someone that they didn't do it, and then nothing happens to them. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, the problem is the women that do the false accusing, they really hurt the girls that really were hurt. I'm not going to let one evil person, when there's 100 great people and one bad person, I'm not going to let that person ruin my outlook on life.
I really appreciate this man coming on camera and telling his story, because all too often, even when a man is proven innocent, he has fear of even talking about the situation because there's so many people that will still think that he did something. Men that are falsely accused absolutely have long-lasting consequences. And I'm honestly tired of seeing content out there from women that say otherwise. I think they would like to think that nothing negative happens to a man's life, so you might as well believe the woman as soon as she accuses him. But that's not true, hence why it is so important why men like this speak up. It is also why all of us, men and women, should absolutely be on board with laws that give consequences to false accusations. Because to not have that, which is the system that we are in right now, there are people becoming victims within our justice system, and that is messed up.
Stop hitting me, please.
If you take me to San Antonio,
I'm
please,
not, no,
I will pay you. If you take me to San Antonio,
no,
please,
baby, you put yourself in this situation and I can't
Always me.
I can't do it.
This is Billy, and we need to highlight Billy's story because Billy is not alone. Billy is one of millions of men who are dealing with from their partner. I only showed, I think, the first 20 seconds of that clip. That clip goes on for a few minutes and it's extremely hard to watch, and I didn't want to put all of that on you guys today. I wanted to give you the option to press the sound and go watch the full video yourself, but it is incredibly hard to watch. We think of, or at least when we're spoken to about, it's always spoken about in a manner where the man is the perpetrator and the woman is the victim. And far too often, because of this rhetoric, male victims go unheard and unseen. This rate is 50-50, and don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. Despite the fact that the rate is 50-50, organizations and our governments refuse to put money into studying female perpetrators because that would go against the rhetoric of against women and children. What they don't realize is that they think that they're doing women a service here and just undermining men, and who cares? But the reality is that lesbians take up the majority of the rate, so you're not just hurting men, you're preventing women who are victims of other women from getting the proper help because we haven't studied why women do this and what's the best way to leave when a woman is you. So because of this, men get every single day by their partner, and children get stuck in situations where they watch their mother abuse their father. A situation that I know all too well, because along with getting abused by my mother as a child, she was incredibly to my father as well, verbally, mentally, psychologically, and I'm pretty sure she hit him a few times. I just didn't witness this. And because of this, she broke my father down into a small little man so that he stopped defending me when she was me. So my got worse. We need to start highlighting female perpetrators and male victims, because male victims need our help and female perpetrators need more accountability. If you are a man that is currently going through this, please reach out to me. My email is roma@romaarmy.com, or if you're seeing this on Instagram, you can reach out to me there. Whether you're leaving a male or female, whether you are a man or a woman yourself, it is imperative that you remember never to tell your when you're leaving. You wait for a safe time, like when they're sleeping or they're at work. Whatever you do, never give up your location once you leave. It could make the difference between life and for you.
A lot of these modern women complaining about, why can't I find a man to be nice to me? Why can't I just find a man that will do right by me? Because you guys don't appreciate it. Modern women want men. They're still stuck on the old tradition of men just doing. It don't come out to nothing. It never came to anything, but they do it anyway, just to be nice, just to make me feel good. I never saw that man again. That was a nice man. While sitting at the table with your husband. Weird. That's weird. Men don't have to do that. Men don't have to be around that. Why can't I? At some point in time, you need to start acting like a better person in order to unlock these things from men. Period. End of story. End of story. I'm not going to be chivalrous to you. I'm not just going to keep on giving out my money, my energy, my time for someone that's a bum. They know they're a bum and they're going to continue to be a bum. That's bad behavior.